And welcome back, guys, to the MotleyCraft server. As you can see, it appears not much has changed here. Still got the sugarcane farm, we've got cactus here, the multi-farms are still here that I've put up, but the thing is, I've actually started taking stuff down. There's no longer power or anything happening here. I haven't been doing any harvesting of the trees. Actually, this building doesn't even exist hardly anymore. I wanted the Arctic wood, or arcane blocks. Duh. My Thaumcraft is not here anymore. I got to a certain point in technology, like this flight suit and everything, that I finally can do what I think I wanted to do from the very beginning, because I needed to have sustained flight, and I will show you what that is in a little while. Right now we're just going to show you what has happened so far from here. Let's let it load a bit, because it's trying desperately to catch up. Sheep still here. The Blaze Farm is still here. It'll get moved eventually. I actually created a poison spider collector, which will get moved eventually. This here, I'm actually going to rebuild in my new base, and I will actually just tell you what that is then, because it's part of a larger system that I want to explain. This was to make my soul shards. This was my original Thaumcraft room, and I had put it to use at first. I was making coke coal out of it and getting creosote. As you can see, I have 2 full tanks, and it's full. I'm not sure what I'm going to use the creosote for. I had built a couple iron tanks with ender tanks to get lots and lots of lava. No more power there. You can see there's no power here. Everything is gone almost. Still got the old crafting table and controller, which I'll take eventually just to be put. The auto crafting system is no longer here. We built this machine here. It makes my tubes for the farms, the thermonic fabricator, which will get moved eventually. I took all the engines out. Nothing there. Fly down the hole. It's just unruly. I'll remove those engines eventually, but everything is just gone. This stuff is still in here, which I will pull from it eventually. But like I said, glitch. I got to a certain point in my tech, and I really did get bored with just the flat plains. It was just too simple. You didn't have any characteristics to the environment that you could do stuff with. Villagers are still here. Not that it really matters. They're just ways that I could get proven frames and my monastic drones. Nothing too big. I have yet to move my tinker table, my smeltery, or any of my tinker's construct stuff. I have yet to move my enchanting table, brewing station. My portal gun is still here. My nether wart. And yet my bees are still over here as well. Let's go check on them, shall we? Wow, the flowers have just taken over. I'll have to rewire this stuff elsewhere. I keep getting the same achievement every time I come over here. Now, I've been making some progress with this, trying to build up a stock of mystical bees, which, trust me, I've done. I've got a decent stock of meadow bees that stack. I've been getting cultivated drones from them for some reason. I'm not sure, but I'm okay with that. And I've emptied some of these out that they're not producing anymore. But there is one bee that I hit just yesterday that I was super happy about. Here it is. I have an Imperial drone and an Imperial Princess. I can finally start collecting royal jelly to make my alvearies, which is kind of what I've been waiting for to start my bees in the new place I'm at. Yeah, because I didn't want to get too involved in it there without having the specialty stuff. And you can see I've really, really, really built up a stock of bees. Yeah. And the really cool is my Thaumium Scoop got repairing 2 from enchanting, so I never really have to make one ever again. It repairs faster than I can do it. I had this originally set up. It would squeeze seeds from here, which would go into here. Keeps this one full. This one I was putting honey in. This one had water in it. I was making in my intricate circuits. I just kept them all in one spot. And this one was centrifuging my honeycombs as it came in. Nothing too special. But next step, I have put a little bit of work into the portal hub, not much, but I will show you. I've started putting up the walls because I am going to get this built now. I haven't decided what I'm going to make the floor out of. I don't want the stone. But Master Codex and myself have built something in the void, which is amazing considering when we built it in vanilla. It won't take us too long to get there. It's not too far off. Not to mention I fly really, really quickly. See, we built a grinder. Just a mob spawner. But it's incredibly awesome. I still love the fact that the sky's here and the sun, you could always see it 24/7. Doesn't matter. Now I do have a book that teleports me there, but I kind of wanted to show you just the trek that we had to take to get there. We flew off in a direction until we found a location we liked. Had only one spot to build off of. It didn't have like multiple islands or anything like that. We built it on top of a library that we lit up. And my book doesn't go inside, unfortunately, yet. I haven't rebuilt that part of it. But this is a mob grinder. Yeah. And of course, I am failing miserably. There we go. And I put this in here so I could recharge my scythe. And from what you can see, that mini-map, monsters are spawning like crazy. And they're starting to fall. We put the water in there to stop them from taking too much damage. And it kills the Endermen when they fall. Eventually we're going to take this block and we're going to replace them with Brain in a Jar so we can keep the experience. But as you can see, I have shards. I just luckily got this one, but I'll finish this one in the end. But the main purpose of this one, because these you can find in just the normal world, the creeper shard, because we want gunpowder. And you sit here and just do this, and it just hits them all. And the experience orbs are still in there. It's crazy how they come out, but you don't actually collect them. If you go over here, you can collect them, but they can also attack you. But yeah, that's that. I mean, nothing too special. I'll go up here and show you it. Just kill off those guys. I want this. Let's just put that there. I'll show you here. You click on it. It currently goes to where we started the original platform. And normally you have to make pads upon pads upon pads, like this one here. We decided to test it before we actually kept building. All that spawning is from one pad. It's insane. This is what truly optimization is. That we had no clue, because we're in the void, and that thing is far enough even away that it doesn't affect any of the spawning. It's just insane. But the next spot we're going to show you is where I'm moving everything. I call it the tree house. I know Master Codex gives me heck about it because everybody on a server, one person has to do the treehouse, and I kind of like how I'm doing it so far. So let's go check that out. Just because I don't want to show off too much. Ooh, it's raining here. And for some reason it's loading very slow today. What I did, as you can see with the canopy here, is I actually grew 4 redwoods in close succession with each other, and if it ever loads, I grew it in the middle of the ocean, which is kind of fun. It's different than anyone else on the server. I just wanted to have a little bit of fun with it. I have this coming up from my IC2 pod that I built. But from here, this is how I'm going to do it from the main. This is where you'll teleport in. And it doesn't show it right now, but I built one of these. And I'll show you it in a second, but it launches me over here. And this is my IC2 pod that I've created. Made it out of iron block, give it the futuristic look. I put ore in here and it feeds into these machines, which then feed into a tesseract that is an item tesseract, and it feeds into here. And I have my ME system, of course, and we'll even show you. I'll grab a stack of iron ore. And just because I wanted to use the mod, I actually have MotleyCraft pipes in the back that feed to diamond chests, which then in turn feed from hoppers just so they don't overflow into these guys. And it's a buffer system. This one will go, and then this one. And it only really fills the first 3. If it happens to get full, it will go to this one. It's my buffer zone. I should get a light up here shortly when we get that, just to show you that it's working. These hoppers just feed into the one tesseract. I didn't want to make it all multiple tesseracts yet. And actually in the back, like for iron, because you can get the extra material like ferrous, and some get gold. Oh, there it went. It pulls out into a tesseract that throws it back in my ME system because I don't want to smelt those. But there it is. Oh, interesting. It's not supposed to come right here right away. But obviously it did. That's what you gotta love about MotleyCraft pipes. They're really random. Unless you specify like a diamond pipe. But there's that. We've got my rolling machine. We have my induction smelter, which I actually have some hardened glass in, that you mixed with the lead ingot and pulverized obsidian. My liquid transposer, which has my magma crucible up top that when you put stuff like ender pearls in, turns it to liquid, which automatically fills down here. And once this hits a certain point, it'll turn these into untuned tesseracts, which is doing actually right now because the bubbles came on. I'll show you, because it won't take too long. Doot, doot, doot. Okay, it doesn't take too long normally. And there you go. We have an unattuned tesseract, which we can now turn into an item, liquid, or energy tesseract, which we will go ahead and throw in there. Put the basic stuff in here because I don't need it. Oh yeah, these are the aerial faith plates. That's what shot me. You can actually modify these for the power they shoot for everything. You can turn it to a redstone signal too, where you have to flip a switch and it'll launch you. I have that in there for anyone who doesn't have a jetpack. Just a cool little design really here. I have an ultimate solar panel feeding the power to the system. It's a little touchy at night. And underneath, there's the tesseracts that are getting fed by like the compressors on the side, and there's the tesseract that goes to the furnace. One second here. I am going to create my control here because I want to trigger my flight suit on. Yeah, it's the basics. You saw those doors in here? There we go. These are actually warded doors. Only I can open them unless I provide somebody with a key. But all it does is it leads back to wiring, stuff like that. I just don't want anybody to be able to get to it without me here, because I don't want it destroyed. And this one leads to the Tesseracts, and actually this object, but I'm going to show what this does in future videos. I don't want to get too much into that one, but it allows me to get my ME system. And you come over here, this is my other platform I'm still adding, but it is my Thumbcraft platform. I did it with arcane blocks surrounded by obsidian. Again, it has the one ultimate solar panel that feeds into so my ME system will work. I have my research table, and I have my infusion altar, and I have my arcane work table. And then these are all my jars, my worded jars that I'm slowly filling up with the different aspects. I can even show you that here. This just holds miscellaneous stuff. I'm eventually going to put out the silverwood trees. I have my Thaumonomicon, which I can show you. The files were in there just because they can take the elements out. Now, my Parmer suit has a pair of goggles of revealing in it, but they only show on the bottom left corner there, they show what the aura and flux is currently set at. But if you switch to the goggles of revealing, it now will show me like what's in here. We have beast, control, nature. And if you fly around here, I know we got one right over here. I can actually see these, which are aura nodes with the goggles of revealing. My helmet will not show that. I really need to put the swim assist in. Alright, my flight control is on and it's not working. That doesn't make me very comfortable. Well, I guess I won't worry about it. But yeah, you can see that. Let's go put this back. I was going to show you the Thaumonomicon. And I am a horrible flyer, obviously. This is that item I have a better view that I'm going to show you about later, just to show you it's here. Thaumonomicon, I am definitely getting there. The infused ores, flux. And this is all that I've researched so far. I'm not completely done, of course. There's still a lot to go. Like there's my worded jars. I've got my basic golems here. Advanced golems is what I'm getting into a little bit now. I've got my lost enchantments, which is awesome, and the silk cutter. Different equipment for the golems. This is weather control I have to look into. Pulls items in. This crystal capacitor I have to work on bees to get these dull shards. But that'll make little man-made portals, basically. But we're getting there. It's all a work in progress. I have these to pull the elements out that I don't use, and once I hit 8, I can put them in my jars. Now see, it won't show up. Put that in there. This is the Infernal Forge, which I put here just for cosmetics. You drop your ore in here, and it'll spit out your ore down there. It puts a lot of flux into the system, so I'm not a big fan of it. And I know we haven't seen my magmatic engines yet, because as you had saw from previous videos, that was what was powering my system. Now it's a combination, of course. We have the IC2 ultimate solar panels powering my system, and then we have a room here just kind of tucked away that still powers a single tesseract that sends only, and there is just lava a-pumping. It's going nuts. That's my ME energy, and then when we go down here, or that was my MJ energy, I'm sorry. This is where I keep my ME system. Again, I'll show you this in another episode. I have my auto crafting here still. My condenser, which I'll show you in another episode I want to do. My encoder. And I actually put this in now, which is a crafting monitor. Like, say, let's go here and look at what I want to craft. Let's build a couple advanced circuits. Begin. You go up to the crafting monitor, and it should pull. Uh-oh. Why isn't it pulling? That's not good. Well, let's pull this down here because we can do it this way. Plus 10, begin. Up here. Uh-oh. Gonna have to look into that because that's not good. It's not showing it. And it's supposed to tell me what it's making. If it's missing something, it'll make it for us. Stuff like that. This is, of course, my item tesseract coming from my quarry, which is not active at the moment, and will just input to my system. There's my controller, power tesseract, and my drives, of course. I still have my mass fabricator fed by controlled recyclers and power, which of course is still creating my UU matter. So that's the gist of it, guys. I'm going to keep building these pads around the base. I'm going to do some other buildings. I'm going to be working more on the portal hub. I may do some other worlds for certain things. I'm going to start getting into forestry a little bit more. Stuff like that. If you want to see me do anything specific, like a building style or anything like that, feel free to leave a comment, and I would be more than happy to get everything back to you and do what I can to build it. But for now, this is Spectral signing out. You guys have a great time, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Later, guys.